All right. Welcome to the live show. There's nobody here yet. This is my second attempt at this. I had an unstable connection. So even though I scheduled it, people showed up and waited, and then I had to stop it and start again. So yes, now it's working. All right, people are coming in, working now. All right, right on. Hey guys, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people here. All right, so good afternoon, John and JY. Hello. Jim777, J Pastor. How's it going? Bern Roberts. How's it going? Thoughts on the 50th anniversary Speedy? I think I'd have to see in person before committing. Help me out. That's the gold when I think you're talking about. It's like all gold. It just came out today. All right. Is it? I'm assuming it's the gold one, right? Oh, it's not gold. Okay. I don't know anything about it. So 50th anniversary Speedy. So this is just another. Is this another limited edition 50th? Like they do pretty much 25th anniversary and 30 and 35 and oh, Bren. Okay. Bren Roberts, thanks for telling me. Well, I don't know it. I don't know this Speedmaster, but if it's another anniversary and another sort of limited edition, I wouldn't be so interested in it, and I don't think you should either. But that's just me. I need some more information on it, though, NY Punter. But I put it this way: I don't fall for Omega's, anniversary models and their limited editions at all. So, yeah, Apollo 11 50th anniversary. Okay, should I do that now? I will a little bit later. I don't want to go off on an Omega tangent, but all right. John McManus, he writes, platinum or gold president for Hisham. I'm assuming you mean yellow gold. Let's see. That's interesting. Okay. Well, first of all, yeah. Okay. Day date. Okay. So you're thinking day date, right? No, that's tough. The platinums are really, really nice, and the new ones with that sort of blue. It reminds me of like I don't know, like a winter scene or something. It's like kind of reminds me, if you've seen Game of Thrones, is like the ice king. I mean, it's got this like blue. It's like the color of his eyes, basically, and that's pretty good looking. And it's really modern looking. Yellow gold is a little bit dated, so I think if you're a modern man, platinum is probably the way to go, and it's more tasteful. And it's a day date, so anybody that knows their Rolexes, they're going to know it's a precious metal model. So I don't think you really need to go yellow gold. I know a lot of people probably think if you're going to spend the money, you got to get the flash with it. But I think that's kind of 80s, the 80s aesthetic. So I mean, not bad, and there's a certain warmth to yellow gold. But yeah, I'd go platinum, I think, for Hisham if he's actually, really looking to buy this. So interesting question. Thank you, John. All right. Yeah, Gilberto. Hello from Japan. You're in Tampa, Florida. London. Oh, Maynard Japan's here. How's it going? What else do we have? Yeah, konnichiwa, Paul. All right. Bren says, I have the Man on the Moon, but I wouldn't want another version. Yeah, I mean, I would just get the straight up what Archie recommends. What is it? That's the manual wind acrylic crystal. Is that 42 millimeters? You know, I think the reduced is kind of nice. Should you go reduced? I don't know. I would be all for the reduced, but people just sort of, they just look down on it, and that kind of has gotten in my head, and so now I sort of look down on it. But you know, if people viewed the reduced as equally good, I would almost prefer the reduced, but I'm sort of a product of all this. You know, you got to go with the manual wind, and it's sort of gotten in my head, and now I can't look at the reduced without thinking it's a lesser model. But the Man on the Moon, John McManus says, agreed. I love the ice blue dial. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful watch. Really, really, really cool. Turkey Vulture says, oh, the Platinum DD is a home run. Yeah, agreed. Ryan Ray, I love your videos, Austin, especially showing us around Japan with your family. My pleasure. I hope you guys enjoy it. I should probably make things sometimes a little bit more Japan-centric in my videos. I think that would be kind of interesting, but it's sort of weird for me to do that because I don't know. It feels almost like exploitative. It's like I'm here and it's all of a sudden, you know, opportunistic. I'm going to become a J vlogger or something like that. And it's, I don't know, it sort of rubs me the wrong way. But there are some cool areas of Japan, you know, Shinjuku and Roppongi and Akihabara with the maid cafes. And I've sort of been dying to go down there and just film because there's a lot of stuff to see that just, you know, kind of blows your mind. It's so weird, you know, so different. And I'll probably get around to do that. So yeah. All right. Sergey, he says, your prediction about TGV employment with GovBird. Thanks. Okay. I was wondering if people were going to ask about that. So I was thinking what I would say. All right, real quick. Let me, I'm going to get to all of these questions and stuff. Well, as many as I can get to, but let me talk about that for a second. Okay. So, all right. Well, okay, now there's so much to say. I don't want to spend too much time on this. All right, so let's kind of do the brief version. If I was GovBird, you know, I don't know if they did their research on TGV. I don't know if they just looked at the numbers. I'm not sure, but if I would want to see his Google Analytics, and I don't know if that's, you know, I don't know if that's something you can request to see. It's kind of sort of like asking to see somebody's email. But I would be very curious to see his Google Analytics to see where most of his viewers are. And I think if you were to see that some of them, you know, most of them or a huge percentage come from China, I think that would be a huge red flag. I think, you know, that what that would mean. Does he buy views? I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, that's a mystery, and I'm puzzled by it. And I would love to know the answer. Yes, no, I couldn't tell you. If so, what kind of percentage? Because if I was GovBird, I would want to know that information. That's really important, I think. And I think they you know, if he is buying views and subscribers, then he's struck this deal not in good faith and not really revealing the whole sort of situation. I think we're in the honeymoon period, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes south in a couple months, because I think TGV is very well. I mean, I've seen the way he deals with his friends, and I think he might be on his absolute best behavior for the first couple months, but I don't think you can keep a snake down for long. And I think there's going to be, when he starts getting comfortable, I think that's when the fangs are going to come out, and he's going to start shoving people in the back. So if I were Tim, I would probably be really worried. I don't know if I would have okayed it, and I would be really nervous. And if I was Tim, I might look at this as sort of perhaps the beginning of maybe the end for me. I don't know if TGV could oust him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tried, and it would make me nervous if I was Tim. And I don't think I could trust him, and I wouldn't want to trust him. And it does surprise me that Govberg. Now, I don't think they really. They either struck that deal not knowing what they're getting, or they knew what they're getting and struck it anyway, which surprises me. I think it kind of reflects, in a way, badly on them. I mean, I'm not the type that would deal with Govberg anyway. I don't think they're sort of my kind of shop, but especially not now. Now, I don't know what kind of longevity is projected. I don't know if they're looking to do something for a year and just sort of get his subscribers and sort of put their brand and their retail shop in the subscribers' minds, and then after they feel like they've done that, sort of cut him loose. So they could be playing him. I think he's going to have access to a lot of good watches now, which is really nice for him. I wouldn't want to move to that city if I were him. I think New York is a much better place to be, but it's not like he really made use of the city. I mean, he didn't, vlog in the streets or anything like that, and he probably should have. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah. All right. Well, I think that's enough about that. But I would, I'll just end on this. I would watch my backs if I was, anybody there, because you might get a shiv when you least expect it. You can only keep a psychopathic snake in check for so long before the fangs come out. It's just natural. So we'll see. All right. I think that's enough. Let's move on. All right. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm not going to go back up and read comments. Just write it again if you want me to address it. All right. Let's see. Okay. So how often do you service your Rolex, Austin? Okay. When I get a new Rolex, that's like one of the first things I sort of want to do. I mean, I enjoy it for a couple months, and then I always want to have everything checked out, make sure everything is legit and not stolen, and sort of that's one of the first things I do. So I kind of prefer pieces that aren't serviced, because when pieces are serviced, I know I'm going to want to service it anyway, and I don't want to service on top of a service. And usually, you're paying a little extra for that overall that the retailer did. So I like unserviced pieces, so I can do that because I want to do that. But aside from that, I haven't had any of my pieces serviced except for that, initial service. And I don't think I will. I think I might just have them pressure checked, and I'm sort of a proponent of just going until they die. And if these were vintage pieces and I had to worry about parts wearing down, I would be a little bit more cavalier, but I would not be cavalier about it. I would service at regular intervals. But these are all relatively modern Rolexes that I've gotten, so they've got parts, and I could pretty much wear it into the ground, and it would still cost less than a routine service. So I'm more concerned about water getting in there. So I don't think having a watch service because you're worried about the seals. I think that's what pressure checks are for. But even saying that, I mean, I would take any of my watches in water right now, and it's probably been, at least 2 years. I mean, the warranty is up, and real strict people would say it's probably due. They're probably due for pressure check, but I'm okay. You guys saw me last time I went to the pool with Explorer 2, and so I would say about the 5-year mark, I would probably get the seals checked again. So yeah, never when they stop running, that's when I would get it serviced. All right. All right, Snowflake Hunter here. I see Thai Lady Boy here. We gotta read this comment. What's the question here? All right, Thai Lady Boy pressure check. Out Archie or wear date just 28 the rest of your life. Okay. A Thai Lady Boy pressure check out with Archie or a date just 28. I'd go Thai Lady Boy. I gotta, you know, I don't know what that is. But yeah, I can't do the 28 millimeter date just for the rest of my life. I probably shouldn't have answered that, but we're all having fun now, aren't we? All right, Austin, have you got the Jubilee yet? Have you thought about putting the Jubilee on your Polar Explorer? Oh, hell yes, I have. That's like why I'm buying it, for the Polar Explorer, because that's going to be so against Rolex policy. I love that. It's so nonconformist. So yes, that is certainly what I'm going to do. I haven't gotten it yet. No, it's going to come when the GMT is ready to be picked up, and it should be about a month, I guess, and that was a couple of weeks ago. So I'm sort of expecting a call anytime now, and yeah, I'm planning to. It's going to come on the Jubilee, and then they'll give me the Oyster bracelet, and it's going to have a brand new insert, and I have the whole insert, and it's going to be a black insert. And if you're curious, this is a bit of a fail on my part, but what I did, okay, is I went in there with the whole bezel contraption off. And if you're curious what happens when you do that, because if you go in without your insert, it's going to cost you about $100. But I didn't. The whole thing was off. So the whole bezel thing was off. And what does that cost? Well, that's 300 USD. All right. Now, my plan was to have the bezel insert and the bezel and have that together so I could change the whole thing, because putting the bezel insert in the bezel was a pain. But here's the fail. I hate changing it. I don't want to do it again. It was like I said, I've made a video about this. It was a terrible experience. It didn't feel as smooth and as right, and it felt off when I put it on, and it just, so will I have the bezel changed? Will I have the bezel insert changed? Yes, I will pay Rolex to do that. I don't want to do it myself. So basically, I have a whole bezel work thing that I don't know what to do with, because I'm, so anyway, live and learn. And I guess, what can I do with that? Maybe I can sell it. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, have my sort of beat up black bezel, and then I'm going to get a new minty one, and I'm going to wear it a week, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to get the Coke, and then I'm going to wear that a week, and I'm going to go back and get probably the Pepsi. And yeah, and so that's the plan there. All right. I'm scared of checking my Rolex at Rolex in case it's stolen. I heard they'll confiscate it. Oh yeah. Yeah, the first week I take it, I'm sort of, it's that first week of you hope you don't get a call. I think if you get it with a box and papers, see, the way Rolexes are usually stolen is off people's wrists. So my 14060, my no date sub, just came watch only, and that's kind of sketchy. It's like, it's a 20-year-old watch, of course, so people lose boxes and papers and stuff, but that's sort of a red flag in a way. How did it come to be just the watch only? But if you've got the box, and especially if you have papers, I think it's really likely that it's legit. but yeah, they will apparently take it. But if you bought it from eBay, you're screwed pretty much. But if you bought it from a brick and mortar place and you've got the receipt, then I'm sure there's like legal recourse, and I've got the receipt for this as well. If I take this in, this was a watch only, and so this, I guess technically could be stolen. You never know, right? But I've got the receipt as well, and so I would obviously go back and I don't know how that works, and that would be an experience, and perhaps you could get Rolex to write a letter, and I don't know how it would work, but yeah, that's a nightmare scenario. Absolutely. I know Bear Clooney had that unfortunate experience, and he made a video about it, and he was able to get the watch back so he could take it to the retailer, and then maybe the retailer could give him the money back, and then I don't know how it worked out, but it did work out for him, thank goodness. Austin R. Ramirez says, Austin, how long have you been living in Japan? Almost 15 years I've been in Japan. All right, Snowflake Hunter says, I truly only really want a Datejust 41 fluted Jubilee rhodium or black everyday. Where your thoughts, Austin? Yeah, and that's too big for me, but perfect for other people. And black or rhodium, that's a tough choice. That's a really tough choice. Rhodium is I don't know. Black is boring, but it goes with everything. Rhodium's cool, but I can see maybe sometimes just wanting the black with like a black suit. That's a tough question. I would probably go rhodium. I'd just go rhodium. Yeah. If you were in a black suit and it's a little out there, who cares, Yeah. And that, you can't go wrong with either though. Rolex Datejust 41. Okay, Chili Prepper says eBay will refund you, no problem. Okay, good. It's good to know. Hisham says, hey, Austin, what's your take on the TT Wimbledon dial with the gold Jubilee bracelet? I don't know what that is, so I can't say, but yeah, I don't know. I was this close to just pretending guessing what you were talking about and trying to answer it. I'm just going to say I don't know. Maybe what I'll do is maybe I can jump over and search it real quick. I'm typing in TT Wimbledon Rolex, and we'll check out the images and see what we see. All right. All right. Yeah, two-tone. Okay. All right. I'm headed to the Rolex webpage. I want to check it out in as much detail as I can. I think when it comes to two-tone, I really prefer two-tones on Jubilee bracelets. I think the Jubilee looks really good with two-tone, and that's one of the reasons I love root beers. But I don't really like the root beers with the Jubilee. I'm sorry, with the oyster bracelet. So yeah, but it is a smooth bezel. What do I have to say about it? Yeah, it's a good looking watch. Green Romans. It's okay. It's all right. Obviously it's a very high quality watch, and my only issues would be the aesthetics. If you like the green Romans, could be cool. Not a bad watch at all. Yeah, it's just not my style. Nothing I would buy. The gray and the green, I don't know if that works so well. It could be well, even if it's a limited edition. It's a Datejust, so I don't know. Investment potential. Well, anything that is limited edition, and I'm assuming this is, I don't know that for sure. Probably you might, yeah, it might be a good buy, but yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't love it or hate it. I would never buy it, but not bad. Kind of cool. I mean, it if it is limited edition and you had a chance to buy it and you liked it, I think might be a good idea. But you know, I don't think it's like the next Kermit or anything like that. But not bad. Yeah, I'm a more of a 36 millimeter Datejust guy. I mean, it just fits better, and yeah, when it comes to a non-rotating bezel, I think 36 to 38 millimeter is the sweet spot, and when it comes to the rotating bezel, I think 40 millimeters is the sweet spot. So, you know, everybody needs their drink. They're sort of like their signature drink, and you know, Adrian's is coffee. Green tea, yeah, it just doesn't look so good, does it? Yeah, it kind of looks like, well, we know what it looks like, okay, but it is green tea. Yeah, I thought it would look all, you know, like healthy and green and awesome, but yeah, no, I think Adrian wins when it comes to the drink. What am I drinking tonight? Well, I'm drinking some green tea, but I have on the ready this, and this is some Jennifer from. I actually got back to Japan. Hey, Clemens Kraus, thanks, man. Thanks for the €5. I really appreciate that. He says, what do you think about the TGV watch box partnership? Well, I already answered that, but you know, you paid good money to have me answer it, so I'm going to give you the 1-minute version. I think that they ought to be careful because I think he might not have all of, you know, legit subscribers. I think it's going to probably go well for the first couple weeks, maybe first couple months. After that, I think once the honeymoon period is over, I think he's probably going to backstab people. I think it's really good for him. He's going to have access to a lot of awesome watches. But eventually, I think it'll probably be untenable, and I don't think it'll work out. It'll take a while, though. And anything else? I think they probably. I don't think. I don't think he has a good enough reputation that I would want to mix my brand with him. I think it was a mistake on Squale's part, and I think it was probably a mistake for Govberg. Because up until now, I thought Govberg was kind of legit and the Watchbox operation was kind of legit. But them throwing in with someone with such a lack of morals and on camera, this is one thing, but I'm going with the sort of his off-camera antics. I think I would have thought twice about it. Honestly. Okay, look, Adrian is not in America, but I think Adrian. If I were Govberg, I would have wanted Adrian. I mean, Adrian is likable. He's honest. When I say honest, I mean he doesn't seem to be a ruthless snake. All right, and I think that would be great. And I think you know, obviously they're both great. At what they do as far as making their you know, their videos, and they're very competent. And so I like Adrian, and I would, if I was Govberg, I would have gunned for Adrian. I would have given Adrian a job. I would have brought him over to the States, and I think yeah, that's what I would have done. But anyway, so hopefully that answered your question. Thanks for that. All right, back to this thing. When I got back from Holland, I bought this and just bought it from a shop here. A couple bottles of this from a shop in Osaka and had it sent to me. So yeah, this is, I guess, what I haven't even opened it yet. I've had it for months and haven't opened it. I was kind of saving it because yeah, Maynard in Japan was up here, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to crack it, but he's off the booze, and so I didn't crack it. So it's for months. It's just been sitting sort of like this, and my God, I need to like get into it. So what do you say? Should I get into it? Have some? I think so. All right, I'm not even going to wait for the answer. Of course, you guys are going to say yes, right? Do it. Pop it. There it is. It's popped. Yeah, there should be a cork here. Anyway, this is screw top is kind of cheap feeling, but this feels kind of quality. Sehr old. That means very old. And yeah, obviously I was planning on doing this. So this is not the way you're supposed to drink it. You're supposed to, have the nice tulip glass and whatnot. But all right. Cheers. Oh, yes. Well, Jennifer, good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, it doesn't taste like 35%. Really, really drinkable. And it really doesn't taste very much like gin. I've tried to make do with just gin, and it's like if you live in Japan, you know what I'm talking about when I say like Gilby's gin. There's actually a lot of flavor here, the berries that they use and whatnot. So, all right. Kampai, yeah, Snowflake Hunter. Kampai and Kampai. Hi, are you trolling? No. Kampai. All right. Are you ever coming back to the States? Blue shirt Buddha says, just for a visit, probably. I mean, it's a good question. My life is pretty good here in Japan, and here's what my take on the States says. Okay, first of all, healthcare. All right, that would be an issue, and the healthcare here in Japan is really good, and I guess you would call it socialized medicine, perhaps. I mean, there's like state stuff, and it's just fantastic. I mean, it's pay every month for it, and it's taken out of my check, and but it's I don't want to have to think about that. I don't have to think about insurance. I mean, it's nice when the kids get sick and you just take them to the hospital and you don't have to think about it. Remember when my first daughter, she's grown up, and she started getting these hard things in her mouth, right? And my wife was worried, and so I was like, wait, let's go. Her teeth were coming in. Okay, I kind of thought that might be what it was, but we paid like $2 to see the doctor, and we laughed about it. And in the States, it's like that costs you like over $100, and it wouldn't be funny because you would feel shafted, but you can sort of go without reservation, without thinking about it. And that's kind of nice. So the healthcare is really good here, and I really appreciate that. And it's a safe country. There's no guns here. I don't have to worry about school shootings. And I love the States, but those are two fears that I have. So yeah, but I do love the States, and yeah. All right. Will I ever go back to the States? Yeah. I mean, if for visits. Yeah, for visits. What do I do for a living? I knew that would come up in one of these shows. Let's not go there, guys. I tell you why, because it's just sort of nice to compartmentalize, that part of my life and this part of my life. And, I've always thought, never the twain shall meet. And I really want to keep it that way. I hate to be like that. I hate to be coy and not answer your questions and stuff. But, I've seen other YouTubers that have given too much information out. It really comes back there. Put it this way, I've got nothing to gain by telling you and everything to lose. So I'm just not going to go there. Do you ever wear your Pepsi? John McManus says, hell no, I don't wear the Pepsi. No, I don't touch it. No, it stays in its little case, and I wind it once a month, and no, I never do anything with it. That's why I bought another GMT Master 2. It's funny. I'll go on a little tangent here. Mark Goldberg talks about his like OCD where he's like switching watches and stuff. And, I've been wearing this like a week. I mean, Mark, what do you think of that? Like weeks with this. Would you be able to do this, Mark? No way you wouldn't. But look, we've all got our issues, and I do too. And my issue is I hoard. All right. And so it's a different form of OCD. It totally is though. But I'm like just the opposite of Mark in the sense that I like to put in its case very nicely and sort of lay it down perfectly and just know that it's there, right? And here's how you know it's freakish OCD stuff, all right? If my wife came and said, I went in, I just moved it like a millimeter. I didn't hurt it. I just moved it a millimeter. You know what? I'd have to go in and have to redo it. And I'd have to put it back. That's how you know it's like there's some weirdness going on. Daniel Fellman, hey man, thank you. Thoughts on the pre-ceramic sea dweller as an investment? I think it's a great investment. Absolutely. I mean, I saw a pre-ceramic sea dweller in Fukuoka, and it was like 6,000 USD. And I knew it. I walked away from it. I thought this is going to totally go up. But it's like I think I had just bought something. And it's like I didn't really have the cash on hand. And yeah, I could have gone in savings, but it's like I walked away knowing like, okay, that's just going to go up. And no, let me back that up. I think it was something like 5. It was like 5.5 US. It was something really good. And I remember walking away thinking that's just money. I just pissed away by not buying it. And sure enough, it did. I think it's a really good investment piece. I think it's definitely going to hold its value. I think, steel, 40 millimeter rotating bezeled watches, and those are really good investment pieces. And of those, the GMT, the Sub, and the Sea Dweller are just like the top of the food chain. I mean, they're the hottest Rolexes. Down a little bit below that, I would say the Yachtmaster and the Explorer 2. And what else? Yeah, informational bezels. So yeah, I think the and I think the Sea Dweller has more potential than the Sub, because the Sub is so ubiquitous. So I think there's a lot of awesome potential there. I think I would love to have one actually, but yeah, that could be. I was thinking, date Sub in the future, but yeah, forget the date Sub. The Sea Dweller is the way to go. So Daniel, thanks for that. But yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential there. All right. Hey, Austin, hope you're well. Saving up for the 34 millimeter Oyster Perpetual in white. The white dial just sold me in that model. Yeah, that is a really good looking piece. 34 millimeters, fine. I mean, it is fine, but you just watch the comments section right here. People are going to go nuts. They say 40 millimeter minimum. It's gotten in my head, so I don't think I could get a 34 millimeter, only because I don't think I could stand people saying it's a girl's watch. Yeah, I know that's not a really good reason, and I should be, stronger in my conviction for it. But yeah, I think when I tried them on, I think the 36 millimeter was perfect. I think the 34 was a close second, really nice. And I thought the 39 was too big for me. So Austin, when are you buying a Richard Mille? I hate Richard Milles. I think they're sort of overly trendy and gaudy and not my kind of watch. Well, I don't know. If you give me enough money, you might see me transform into this sort of, Mr. Hyde type collector, and I might get some of the ugliest things and be like, I don't know if you know how you'll be unless you're actually in that situation. But I mean, if I was in a situation where I had just unlimited income, it was just such a massive amount of income that it was just like, and then nothing. would I get one? Would I get one? No, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. I would just go straight. I would go crazy vintage. I would go crazy vintage, and instead of buying $100,000 or $200,000 Richard Mille, I'd get red subs and double red sea dwellers and Milgausses and GMT 6542s. That's where I would piss my money away. Not on the Richard Mille stuff. All right. I haven't wore a watch in over 25 years. Tams, what are you doing here? 1019, 1016. Oh yeah, the 1655 Turkey Vulture. That's exactly what I'd go for. Yeah, 1655. Man, I mean, that's where I would blow my money. On these old vintage pieces, 1655. It would just become this hunt, and yeah. Austin has been in Japan for too long with people with two-inch wrists looking at all those girly watches. Yeah. All right, Watch Nutter. Thank you, Watch Nutter. He says Black Bay GMT or Black Bay Harrods Edition. Oh man, that's a tough one. Oh gosh. Wow. Okay, Watch Nutter. For wearing or investment. For investment, really neither, but I think the Black Bay Harrods maybe for investment, but it depends on if they keep pumping them out. I don't know. It kind of depends on how much they pump out. As far as just wearing it, I would probably go GMT, just because I love GMTs. But yeah, if you want a better answer for money, then let me know in the comment section whether you're talking about investment potential or to wear. He says, okay, yeah, all the way GMT. Yeah, GMT definitely. Yeah, the Bouquet and yeah, Tudor's got to watch those partnerships. I mean, I would say they've done two. Tone it down. You've had enough for a decade. Otherwise, it's gonna, you look a little bit too much like, I don't know, Omega, but yeah, I remember seeing on Rakuten the Tudor, the Tudor Harrods edition, and oh man, the price was outrageous. I want to say, I don't want to misstate it, but it was at least $10,000. Yeah. So all right, Austin, when are you buying a Pearl Master? Probably never. Pearl, I don't even know what that is. I think I might have seen one. All right, Watchnutter says, I already own a 42 millimeter Explorer as well. All right, so if you own a 42 millimeter Explorer, then you're okay with the bigger watches. So you could be okay with the sort of the taller case on the GMT Master 2. But so here's the thing. I mean, I don't mind doubling up on GMTs because I love them so much. Obviously, I mean, I've got 3 of them. So yeah, 3 of my 4 Rolexes are GMTs. So obviously I don't mind doubling up. See, the way I look at a GMT is you can really use it sort of like a sub. You can swim with it. But I mean, you might not want to dive with it. Now I wouldn't mind just doing some open water diving. I don't think I would take it deep, but I think you could take that. And I just look at here's why the reason I love GMTs is because essentially it's like a dive watch. Yeah, okay, yeah, you can't go as deep, but it's essentially like a dive watch, but it just has that extra hand. And I just love having that extra hand because it's so freakish in a way to have like 4 hands on a watch. So that's why I like it so much. And of course, I live in Japan, so I can kind of get some use out of it and, feel like a traveler when I go someplace and I change it. All right, Yankee Doodle. Thank you. He says, would you consider a third hydronaut? Well, I got to be honest, Yankee Doodle, I saw one on Rakuten not long ago, actually yesterday, and it was black and it looked unpolished to me. So yes, I actually thought about it, but only for like a split second. And then I was like, come on, bounds of reasons, man, bounds of reason. By the way, I think my blue one has certainly been polished. I was comparing the lugs to the other one. The blue one's totally been polished. This one actually, I think, is a better example, but then the blue one has the box and the papers, so I think it's a little bit more collectible. I tell you what, when you do get ready to buy your Hydronaut, be careful because there's a 35 millimeter version. I think it's called the 85190, and you can see some good prices on there. And I remember looking at one and thinking, obviously I'm not interested in a third one, but kind of thinking, oh, this is a pretty good price. If it would have been very dangerous if I had been on the fence. And I can imagine like getting it and realizing, oh my God, it's like the 35 millimeter version. No, so be careful about that. That, by the way, that's something I would love to get my daughter, a Hydronaut, ladies Hydronaut, but they're really not that, they're kind of around the same price as a 40 millimeter. All right, Coffee Fantastic had art. Okay, I don't think that's for me. I saw the word pimp and I'm like, I have to read this comment. I don't think that's for me. All right, Danny, he writes, Austin, what do you think of a pre-ceramic GMT Master 1, either Pepsi or Coke, for less than 10K? Is that a good investment? What's the reference number? I would say, yeah, it's a good investment. I think it is. 10K is sort of what they're going for these days. I don't know, 10K, is that a good investment? See, I don't know. I didn't think 7K was a good investment when I bought my Pepsi, but obviously it was. And then I spent kind of close to 10K on that new GMT Master 2. But I didn't get it because of investment. I got it because I wanted to wear it. And will it go up? I don't know. All right. I saw the prices, and you guys saw the prices the last time I went to Nakano. It was something like they were starting to head into like the 13,000 range. And I don't know if that's just some crazy pricing that they slap on to see if the tourists with more money and sense will buy it. Or I don't know if that's the trend, but Japan seems to have the price trend. Like, I bought it for 7 when I could have gotten it for 6 in the States. And now the states just kind of catch up. It's like the price rises here first, and then the States kind of catch up. And I don't know if that's because people in Japan just sort of they see the price rises here, and then they just clean out Chrono 24 of those more affordable models, and that's what all the cheaper ones are rising. So yeah, I don't know if 10K is going to, I always thought it would top out at 10K. But then when I saw that price at for the exact Pepsi that I have for 13,000 plus, that right there was the kick in my ass. That I'm probably never going to get a GMT if I don't get one now, because there's no way I wanted to pay more than 10K for it. So that right there, I walked away from that experience thinking like, it's now or never for the GMT Master 2. But will it go up? I would kind of be surprised. But the thing is, you got to ask yourself, is a GMT Master 2, like, forget about investment. Is that a 10K watch for you? Is it worth 10K? And I think definitely that's a 10K watch. That's just the F-off factor and sort of the desirability and the aesthetics and the beauty. And I mean, that's like the top of the food chain right there as far as Rolexes go, steel sports Rolexes. So 10K I think is still, I wouldn't call it a steal, especially if you know the prices, a couple of years ago, but I think it's worth it. So that's one of the reasons I got it. All right. Oh, Clive's here. Oh, we've got a celebrity in the house. Have me on. How do I do it? Thanks, Skelly Cop. I love your channel. Clive says squale. Squale. What can I say about squale? Worst offender. I made a video today. I didn't upload it because it's a little out there. I don't know if I will upload it, but I talked a little bit about squale and about how it really is the crapper of crappers. Why do you think the Japanese used watch market is at least the second largest? Don't you notice that prices are getting bigger, and not just for Rolex? I don't notice, I don't notice really other brands. I don't think price rises are aside from Patek, I don't think price rises are happening for other brands here. I could be wrong there. So I don't know, Sergey. This is a response to Sergey. Okay, it says click on your screen, find the icon with the outline of a person with a plus, copy the link and send it to me via email or text on WhatsApp. Okay, I don't have WhatsApp, and I can't get into my email right now. So let's I tell you what, absolute promise, you have my word, and may everyone witness this. The third one that I do, I will make sure and get that all situated so we can talk. Because I mean, this is kind of nice, like doing it by myself, but it would be sort of nice to have somebody to talk to. So for sure, number 3, Clive, we'll make it happen. Thoughts on Archie's new 5296? John asks. Okay, yeah. All right, this is another topic I wanted to talk about today. I was going to make a video about it. Was Archie making a mistake? All right, so no, I don't think so. All right, I don't think it's a mistake. It's an awesome shakeup, is what it is. But think about it, like those 3 models that he traded. I mean, those are. I don't know. I hate to throw those models under the bus, but those models at best will hold their value. They're not going to go up. Not that his Patek will shoot up either, but I don't think there was a lot of passion on his part for those pieces. They were sort of quantity over quality, and so, wow. Listen to me. I was going to say they're kind of nothing Rolexes. Weird. I denounce myself for saying that, but they're not real punchy pieces, and I wouldn't have paid money for them. And if somebody was thinking about getting them, I would probably say just save up more and get like a punchy piece with a rotating bezel, informational bezel. I think that's what, I mean, just look at my collection. I mean, Archie always says, if you want to know the true soul of the collector, look at where he puts his money, and you can see where I put my money. And I haven't gotten a 3-hander without a rotating bezel. So I think they were sort of kind of weak pieces, and I think it's kind of a good idea that he did that. I mean, he loves Patek, and here's the thing. I mean, that was an awesome move on Archie's part, because I mean, that was like some real passionate play right there, and it was sort of like he did it because he loves Patek, and not because of the investment. And yeah, you can talk about the sensibility of it, and financially, those 3 Rolexes make so much more sense. But he was like, to hell with that. I love this watch. I'm going for it. So I love I love his move there, and totally respect it. And he's got 2 Pateks. He loves Patek. He loves Patek more than Rolex. And so, yeah, I think it was a good move for him. Definitely shook up the channel a bit. And what the hell would he do with those 3 sort of, those Rolexes anyway? I don't know. So now that, see, he was wearing those watches because he didn't want to hurt his Daytona and his Bluesy, and now they're gone, and so now he can kind of sort of be more of the pontiff with that more like F off piece. So yeah, I don't. People are saying that it's dented. Now they'll fix it. It's fine. Not a big deal at all. And look, I mean, the Patek is like an amazing. I mean, I don't need to say this. I don't want to patronize you guys, but that Patek will be around in 100 years. And people and Patek, assuming they're still around, will ensure that. But those 3 pieces that he sold in 100 years, they'll if they are around ticking away, they'll have a bunch of aftermarket parts in them and stuff. And that really right there is why Patek is so much more amazing than Rolex or any other brand, because you take a 100-year-old watch to them and they'll fix it for you. They'll make it run again. I mean, that right there is awesome. So should I do that in the future sometime, like sell a bunch of my like half my collection and buy a Patek? I would consider it. I would actually consider it, because that is an amazing brand. I mean, I love that. So all right, just thoughts really. Hey, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it, man. He says DD36 is my grail. Okay, day date DD36. Day date is I'm assuming what you're talking about. And he says makes me think of that mean fucker LBJ. But is it only for old guys in suits? I have a Pelagos blue and a Seiko beater too. All right. DD36. So you're talking a day date, I'm assuming, and just let me ask maybe follow-up questions right there. I think it's an awesome watch. I mean, are you thinking going yellow gold or platinum, or what kind of metal are you thinking? Because that's sort of important. Okay, all right, but what? Yeah, he says, yeah, day date. That's what I would go. I would go 36 millimeter. I think that's the sweet spot when it comes to day dates and date just and stuff. Yellow gold. Is it an old man's watch? Probably more so than the white gold. Yellow gold is pretty 80s, but I don't know how old you are. Could I pull it off? Probably not. I don't know. I mean, it's probably more in your head whether you can pull it off than anything. Is it an old man's watch? Well, no, it's not. I mean, if you're going to if you're going to spend the money on a date just, and you like sort of nice precious metal pieces, I would just go for that day date. I mean, having the day on there, that's just like, date just on steroids. So no, I think it would be awesome for you to do that. Yankee Doodle says, did Arch make okay decision trading 3 Rolex for a Patek? Yeah, I just talked about that. Financially, when it just comes down to money, probably not. If he wanted to sort of protect himself, nest egg type wise, and sort of protect his investments, no. Like Jen said in a live stream, there's more liquidity in the 3 Rolexes. You can get out of them a lot easier, hell of a lot easier than that Patek. But the thing I like about it is that there was like real passion in that move. And that was like, I mean, it was almost like like another side of Archie. It's like the the dealer flipper guy who always wants to make a buck, just like through caution to the wind, and like listen to his heart. It was like a beautiful moment, I thought. So I think it's a cool thing that he did that. And like I said, I mean, you know, you're talking to Patek. I mean, that Patek will, like I said, be running for, you know, as long as Patek exists, it'll be running. I mean, the only issue I have with it is just like the only issue I have with Patek period is the aesthetics, because they are, you know, that whole, I mean, it is sort of a vanilla looking watch. I mean, we got to like call a spade a spade. It is. I mean, it damn, man. I mean, it just looks like there ain't nothing to it. Right. But he likes it, and that's what matters. And that's why I could never trade one of these swivelly bezel masculine dive watches for one of those things. The Hydronaut the Hydronaut, wrong knot. The Aquanaut and the sort of the sports Pateks. I would love to love them, but I'm a round case guy, and they lose me. So I couldn't do it. But yeah, I think it was kind of a cool move on his part, and I wonder what he'll do with it. I mean, will he wear it? I hope so. Clive, free the mullet. I don't know. Probably not. You know, I did grow the goatee out, and I'm surprised they didn't like shave it just so I could have the stash. But yeah, I didn't. Okay, Austin, could you wear Pablo Escobar's Rolex? Would it be a plus or a minus that he used it? Fuck, man, that would be awesome. I'd love to have it. Oh yeah, I would love to have it. Provenance. That's probably Pablo Escobar's Rolex. Are you kidding? Awesome. Yeah. Okay, Clive says, I think it's a fool move on his part. Yeah, but you know, it's kind of a fool move getting all those like little weak Rolexes. Oh, kind of. Hold on. That's not fair. Okay, those are awesome Rolexes, but they're, I don't know. He's the pontiff, right? I mean, he should go for punch. Like, you know, I mean, he had a completely like a solid gold Submariner. I mean, that's the kind of piece the pontiff should have gone for. So, yeah, I was gonna say day. What do you call it? The Sky Dweller, but the Sky Dweller is selling for too much. It's too crazy. So Pablo's President sold for only 8,500 USD auction in Colombia. Oh man, why didn't you tell me about that, John? Oh my God. I mean, I don't know. What does it say? That's kind of, I would have to, I'm a little bit sketchy on that. I mean, does it say something like, you know, from his mistress or something, or is it just, I don't know. I would need some like sort of proof of provenance. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, am I the only one that, am I the only Pablo Escobar fan here? Not that I am a fan, but, Hisham says, do you guys think I should get rid of everything and just keep 2 watches, the 2 dates, the yellow gold and the platinum? Well, Hisham, I don't know what you have, so I can't answer that. I'll have to let other people feel that. All right, just thoughts, really. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. He says, those 3 steel Rolexes were filler. Decent filler, but filler just the same. I agree. They're filler. They're legit watches for me, but we're talking the pontiff here. And you know, a 3-hand, you know, a 3-hander is just not something pontiff quality. He kind of, yeah, he was going for quantity versus quality. And I think I think it was a good move. I agree with you totally there. He says, yeah, it is the real deal for sure. It is the real deal. Yeah. Pateks are the real deal. I mean, they are something. I got to stop like thinking about Pateks and reading about them, because that's how you sort of, that's how the seed is planted. And I think people, they want to move, and they want to do things, and that's why people flip, and that's why people acquire pieces and sell pieces. And so I it totally makes sense that he wanted to kind of get out of those pieces and just do something different. And look, I mean, I much rather go one real F off piece versus three sort of weaker pieces. So yeah, I mean, it's funny, like where are we when we're calling these really awesome, legitimate three-handers like weak pieces? It's not, I don't, you guys know where I'm coming from. It's all relative, right? The Dentech, okay, it's got a name now, will be as good as new after service. Yes, it will. I think so. Will I ever buy a Patek Philippe? Yes, I think I will, actually. I think it's kind of, it's my exit watch, I think. Yeah. Exit watch. Is there any such thing? But yeah, because I tell you why. Because I think it's the pinnacle. All right. I think it's the pinnacle. And I could leave to my daughters 2 Rolexes a piece, and then they get passed down through the generations, and eventually, Rolex just sort of pulls the rug out from whoever has them, and you can't get parts for them anymore, and somebody needs to sell. I don't know. It just the fate of your Rolex is ultimately death. Okay, and that's Rolex's decision, because they don't back their old watches. But they're not, that is not the case with Patek. I mean, Patek really is that, you just look after it for the next generation. I mean, that's brilliant marketing, but it's so true. And so, 2 Patek, well, I don't know. You don't even need two Pateks. Just 1 Patek is cool. But yeah, I totally think I could, and probably will, at some point in my twilight years, sell and just get 1 awesome Patek. And I think that could be a good move. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could actually do that. I mean, it's one thing to sort of think about it. I might have to just keep one Rolex, just one. But yeah. Okay. So Clive asked about TGV going to Watchbox. We already talked about it kind of 2 times, man. So look at my, watch this again. Lots of photos. Okay, just thoughts, really. He says lots of photos showing him wearing the GMT. What are you talking about there? Just thoughts, really? Who wearing a GMT? Edgar Mitchell. All right, so don't know who he is. Yeah, that's sizable pour, I suppose. Cheers, Chili Prepper. Oh, okay. Yeah, astronaut, word on the moon. Yeah. What are you drinking? Clive says. This is Jennifer, imported to Japan from Holland. It helps me remember Guido a little bit. No, it's not related to that. Thoughts on the oyster quartz? I wouldn't go the oyster quartz. I think the aesthetic is off. Reeks of 80s. Bracelet's pretty terrible. I mean, you got to be honest. Like, you can love Rolex so much that you can forgive it, but it really is, I think, a hideous watch. It's kind of interesting. I think they're probably ticking time bombs, and I don't know if you can have them serviced anymore. And once once the component craps out, you're screwed. Who wants one of them? There's no. I think people think that there's collecting potential there, but I think I don't think it's real collecting potential. Hey man, Adam, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, he says, recently bought a left-hand drive Pelagos and it changed my opinion. Titanium's matte dial and cream hands is just amazing in my opinion. Are there any watches you feel nail a design brief? First of all, let me say that I made a kind of a bad video about the LHD where I kind of like railed on it a little bit and I thought it was like gimmicky and stuff like that. I don't think so much anymore. Because you gave me $10. No, not related to that at all. I just sort of I don't know, I was a little bit too hard on it, and it kind of did make sense. But here's the thing. I mean, I don't know if this would, I don't know if, could this dig in right here? I'm not sure. I've got to try one on, but I think setting it would be the hardest part for me. Okay, I know that's not your question. He says, I think it is a good looking watch. Are there any watches you feel nail a design brief? Do you mean a design aesthetic, Adam? Is that what you're talking about? I'm waiting for Adam's reply. I just want to make sure I understand the question. Are there any watches that nail a design brief? I'm assuming he's saying design aesthetic, meaning like perfect in design. Is that what you mean, Adam? Yeah, an aesthetic or something that just ticks your boxes. Yeah. All right. Well, the sub 14060 or 14060M, I think that's, the thinness there. It's the hand lengths are perfect, better than the date sub. I think it's pure perfection. I think it is absolute perfection. But it's thin on functions, right? It doesn't have a date, doesn't have an extra hour hand. So I think the G&T Master 2 is like a close second, but it's not just perfect. I mean, the minute hand could be, I think, a little bit longer, and I think the Cyclops is polarizing. Some people love it, some people hate it. I used to not like it, but now I like it because it's such a Rolex convention. So I would say those are two pretty perfect watches. And as far as dress watches go, Jubilee fluted bezel Datejust. I mean, I think that's just an awesome, just every man's watch. And yeah, I think, yeah, the only thing about the Datejust is that I think it can kind of look a little bit effeminate, a little bit on that Jubilee bracelet and the fluted bezel. But you have to have that fluted bezel in the Jubilee. I mean, you can't really. It's sort of it just goes with the Datejust, but there is just a hair of a femininity there. So, all right, 14060 versus 14060M. One has tritium, one has a better movement. Yeah, I would go 14060M, and that's from someone who has a 14060, because I would want the Swiss, the Luminova. The better movement, yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have a better movement, right? But what really turns me on about the 14060 is two line, and so I think it's worth it all to have the two line versus the four line. I think the aesthetic on the two line is perfect. But it is kind of nice having the 14060 because I have it sort of tucked away in a dark place, and it's sort of interesting to look at the tritium and think about whether it's changing or not, but I can't get it I can't get it serviced at Rolex anymore because they're gonna change something. I know that on my hour hand, on the Mercedes hand, I can just see where I guess they had cleaned off the surface or something, and it is just one atom away from going through. I can just tell, and they would replace it, and I would get hands that are Luminova, and so I can't take it back to them anymore. So that's the problem there. Yeah, but if you can find, I think the sweet spot is 14060M with 2 lines, and according to John McManus, because I asked him, they exist. And then you have your Luminova, and you have the 2 lines, and you got the updated movement. So yeah, I think that was sort of the sweet spot there. Date sub or no date sub, Austin? No date sub. I mean, they're both great. I don't know. I mean, they're both good. I don't want to be indecisive, but if I had to choose one, I would go no date sub. But Simon Crane went date sub, and yeah. By the way, I mean, I asked him to make a video recently about that watch, sort of a follow-up video, and he says like, yeah, I might have to do that. But he's been like a week, and I don't think he's going to do it. But I really wish he would, because I would just love to hear his sort of take on that watch. I just love hearing people talk about sort of how they use their watches and stuff, and just that would just be cool. I would love for him to do that. By the way, I use my bezel all the time. I mean, just I use it just dozens of times a day. I love having a rotating bezel. I mean, I just time things. I mark times. I mean, I just use it all the time. Yeah, so according to John McManus, the other 2 line 14060M does exist. How many people? 58 people. All right. Is that a good? How many do you usually have, Clive? I want to know what the competition has, because you're the competition. Whoa. Hi, Burr says, I'm scared of using the bezel so it won't get too loose. Are you kidding me? I use the hell out of it. Don't worry about that. You're talking to a person that's like totally OCD. If I'm not worried about it, go to town. Besides, I mean, Rolex will, I don't know, do these even get loose? I don't even think these get loose. I don't think that is anything you need to worry about. Okay, John McManus says, which is your favorite watch channel apart from mine? Archie. Oh, I love Archie's channel. I also love Matt Stevens' channel and Simon Crane's channel. I don't know why. I mean, I love Matt Stevens because he's such an ornery dude. He's so pissed off all the time. And he lives in North Carolina. My dad lives in North Carolina. So next time I'm back, I'm going to have to meet up with him for sure. And yeah, Matt Stevens. I wish Matt Stevens would make more content. He can't handle the trolls. He's got to grow some thicker skin. And Simon Crane as well. And I wish Simon Crane would make videos as well, but it looks like the trolls got the best of him. Archie, yeah, I mean, Archie's, I go on and off Archie pretty much. Mark Goldberg, yeah, I mean, I like Mark Goldberg as well. But I don't see everything he does. But I like him. And I like Andy Hunter as well. Andy's one of those guys. I mean, like I won't watch any of his videos for like a month, and then I'll see what he's up to. And yeah, I like regular guys. I like Guido's channel as well. My favorite is when Guido just does like a 4 or 5 minute video, and he says what he's got to say. I'm making a sort of a live video right now, and live videos I think are so. I mean, this is 120 minutes, man. Who's gonna watch this? I'm last time I made a live show. I'm remember thinking I gotta like stop it and I don't know. I don't want to do that. I don't want to break the flow, but yeah. Wow, Clive has 160 to 200. All right. So, yeah, 50, 53. That's not much. Okay. Well, hey, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your mom and dad, stop on by. What do I think of Panerai? Yeah, Panerai, I think the aesthetic is off. And yeah, I mean, how can you imagine? I mean, there was a time when Panerais cost more than a GMT Master 2. I thank God I didn't get into the watch game at that time. I don't think I would have gone the Panerai route because I love Rolex, but that is a hell of a thing to have been caught up in. So yeah. All right, Adam Dorney says, just wanted to thank you for doing that video a few months ago on that shopping district in Japan. Going over to Japan in January, found it really helpful. Yeah, my pleasure, man. I'm glad, and I'm assuming you're talking about Nakano, which is fantastic. Yeah, it's a great place, man. Overwhelming. So many watches there. So many watches. Jen kicking in now. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Please, can you do a 2019 State of the Collection video? John says, no, I don't, there's nothing changed really. I mean, just watch that video and then, you know, there's a Hydronaut or two more and the new GMT. So yeah, is Simon Crane making vids? Unfortunately, I don't think he is, but hey, send him, tell him that I brought up that he said that he would do a follow-up video on his sub, and that I'm a little disappointed that he hasn't passed that along. Maybe we can peer pressure him into making that video. Why don't we see your Japanese wife? My God, are you kidding, man? I mean, people would, what would people say? Nothing nice, I'm sure. I mean, even the nice things they would say would be horrendous. So it sounds like a terrible idea. My wife wouldn't want to get on the thing. She wouldn't want to do it. Austin, have you seen Russell Crowe's watch auction? He had to sell because of his divorce. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. Painful. Jen has a lot to offer. All right, I don't know what that's referring to. But Jen does have a lot to offer. He does. From a business perspective, I mean, you know, talking about you know, the liquidity of AC3's 3 Rolexes. I mean, that was pretty you know, accurate. And yeah, and I learned what liquidity meant. Obviously, I'm not in the business. Austin, are you related to someone on Game of Thrones? No, I don't think so. Who do I look like? Do I collect anything else? Daniel Feldman says, other than watches. Yeah, I used to be into like real hardcore into cameras. So I've got like a dry cabinet and, you know, camera bodies and lenses, but I don't really do it much anymore. I don't really shoot much anymore. So yeah. Anything else that I collect? Well, yeah, no, I really don't. But you know, let me tell you real quick about some purchases that I made recently. I'm kind of sweating now, I'm like an alcoholic, right? Might have to turn on the air in here. Okay, so I bought from eBay. Okay, I bought a Rolex hat. All right, the one like Mark Goldberg has. All right, with the Rolex on the sides, which I just had to have that damn thing. Will I wear it? I don't know. Like, that's kind of a twatty hat to wear. I mean, I like hats, but I want to. Do you wear it with your Rolex? If you don't have a Rolex, can you wear it? I mean, what are the rules there? I'm gonna have to ask Mark. Mark's gonna have to make a video about like how I can use my Rolex hat that's coming. It's coming from Britain, by the way. And I got a Rolex. This is all through eBay. a Rolex wallet, okay, a leather Rolex wallet from Hong Kong. Looking forward to that. I think it's red, and then a shirt that has the crown and it says Rolex, and I think that's like a bootleg thing, and so I can wear that, live shows. And if I ever like interview people on the streets of Japan about watches, which I've thought about doing like wristwatch checks in busy areas and be like, what do you have on? What do you have on? And then I can wear that. It gives me a little bit more, sort of horological cred. And then I actually got a second Rolex wallet because I had placed a bet when one was like really ultra low. And then a couple days later, oh, you won the auction. And I was like, oh, shit. All right. And so I got that one. So I've got 2 Rolex wallets coming. So Rohit Roth, how's it going, man? Do you watch Crappy Luxury? I don't know what that is. Do I ever go out for an evening in Roppongi? I've been to Roppongi in my younger years. It's a cesspool. It's a nasty place. It's pretty bleak. Yeah, yes and no. Yes and no. I gotta watch the alcohol because I was this close to telling you a nice story of meeting a girl there back in my single days. Yeah, we'll maybe not talk about that. She's interesting. Bolt-ons. Like that went like that, like pointing in opposite directions. Bad bolt-on job. But she's a nice girl. No, Paul. It was, I met this girl, just legit. I met this girl and then I ran out of money and she started paying for me and she was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. And I think she might have been sort of a working girl in a way. I must have been really charming that night. All right, well, we won't talk about that. Yeah, let's move on. Great video on Yachtmaster recently. What are your thoughts about 3135 movement versus 3235 movement in the latest version Yachtmaster? Would you wait 70-hour power reserve? Yeah, I mean 70-hour power reserve. No, the power reserve is not really a big thing for me. But yeah, yeah. I mean, newer is better, right? Newer is better. But it's a 42 millimeter case. That's what turns me off from it. So, Austin, do you have a watch loop? No, I don't. Oh, he says, nice checking the watch from time to time. Also scary when seeing all the. Yeah, I've heard once you get your watches that you should avoid getting a loop, and I think that's a good idea because it would bother me. I would see things that are that are off, and it would bug the hell out of me. So, yeah, I should have gotten a loop. Well, I should get a loop now just to take out with me when I look at things. But yeah, it says the power reserve really doesn't matter if you're wearing it regularly. Yeah, that's the thing, Hisham. I mean, I agree because the way I wear watches is I just wear it for like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatnot. And I mean, I guess if you're rotating a lot, it could be nice, but I don't. Oh, you can get the Yachtmaster 40 millimeter with the new movement. Yeah, I mean, new movements are always good. They're always good. I mean, but look, I mean, you're talking to a guy with 14060 that keeps like +1 every couple days. So in practice, it's pretty awesome. So. But yeah, newer is better. I think the thing about newer is it decreases the potential risk. It's sort of like risk of shock or risk of it's just the chances are you'll have a better accuracy. But But, you know, sometimes you read about people and they've got like the state of the art movement, and it's like, you know, +4. And it's like, wow, that's, huh. Man, that's just kind of unlucky. So, all right. Still have some of this. It's Friday night, by the way, guys. So, I mean, I'm entitled to this, right? ETA or Solita? I would say ETA. If you really loved AC3, you would grow horns. Thank goodness I can't. Clive. Why do you dislike two tones? I was asked. Because they're flashy, and you know, I'm not in. Here's the thing: I'm not really into Rolex because of the sort of f-off factor. At least I tell myself that. And so that's why I kind of like the aesthetic of, you know, the tool watch. That's what I'm drawn to. But I got to be honest. I mean, there is that sort of part of me that does love that f-off factor. I mean, there is something amazing about having a GMT Master 2 on your wrist, and knowing what an awesome, desirable piece you have. And so that part of me is there, but the part of me that likes to like show gold. I mean, that's not. I think gold is tacky, to be honest. I think gold is it's sort of kind of new money, and it's sort of because it's so sort of in your face, and that's why I would never go. You know, the only exception would be a root beer GMT, and it's not that I would get it because of the gold. I would get it in spite of the gold. So, all right. But if you have only steel, wouldn't be one two-tone being a nice variation? Not for me. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you talk about variation to me. I've got, you know, 3 GMTs, so I'm sort of like a find what you like kind of guy, and just do it to hell. And I'm probably not the best example of a watch collector in the sense that I'm not well-rounded at all, but I know that, and you know that. But you know, if I were to, and this could make kind of an interesting, you know, like little tangent here. If I were to sort of reinvent my collection, what would I do? I would keep the No Date sub, keep the GMT, sell another GMT and the Explorer 2. Okay, so you got the GMT and the Diver. Get a Datejust, or, well, I was going to say a day date, but I mean, you know, fantasy day date, but realistic Datejust. And then, because that would be completely different, and then something on a leather strap, perhaps. But again, I mean, that would just, it's not me, you know. So, all right, bend them all. Yeah, burn them all. Oh fuck, that was a great scene. Oh yeah, Clive, you know what I'm talking about? I hope we're talking about the same thing. I mean, um, I'm not going to talk about this long, guys. I just have to say it. When Danny just was like, screw it. It's just, I was like, this is awesome. This is awesome. Man, I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, yeah, I don't know if Clive, yeah, I hope Clive, you know, you guys might not know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Game of Thrones here in the last, in the last sort of thing. Anyway, I don't want to, we can't go that route. You know, we but that was awesome. I love that. I like the Hydronaut watches. They have some good ideas. Hey, you know, somebody had an interesting comment today, and I'm going to read it to you. And I love this guy because you got to have balls to write this comment. You know what he writes? This is in my Yachtmaster video. He writes, he said, Carlos Cardona, he wrote, we own, hear me, so you can see it. He says, no, this way. He says, we own the same Hydronaut can you see the Yachtmaster design elements within it? The bezel, the polish, the overall feel. Man, Carlos, what are you smoking, man? I love it. Send me some. Hell no, I can't. But I love that comment. I love that comment. Now, the one thing that is kind of similar is it does have the bezel, that brushed, if I can get it, the sort of the brushed bezel part is sort of is sort of Yachtmaster-ish. But if you think about the evolution of these watches, it started out with the turnograph, okay, and the turnograph sort of developed not into, but it was that's what the Submariner was based on, and also the turnograph is what the 6542 very first GMT was based on. It was based on a 6202 turnograph. So the turnograph is the father of many of the most awesome Rolex watches, and it sort of went sub, and there was the Tudor sub and the Rolex sub, and it sort of that's how the family tree goes, and then that just continues on with Rolex. But the Tudor sub then switched to the Hydronaut, and then the Hydronaut switched to the Hydronaut 2, and the Hydronaut 2 branched off and died, and the Hydronaut 1 then sort of kept going and made the Pelagos. That's the way I see it. And anyway, there you go. That's what I think. And so this is sort of the daddy of the Pelagos. So that's what I think. Hisham says, okay, I have a question. Is the Platinum DD equal to the Holy Trinity watch? I don't know, I would say separate. No. Austin, do you adjust your minute hand to be spot base on second hand hitting 12? Yeah, I mean, totally. Like when the second hand hits 12, the minute hand is hitting the minute marker. I mean, it is hitting the minute marker. It is not one. Yes, it takes a few times to get it right, but it is like this. Yeah, I do. And it's funny because when I had my overhauls, they were like, do you want us to set your watch? And I was like, okay, sure. And they gave it to me. I was like, crap job. Look at you. I mean, and it was by all rational standards, it was fine, but it was just like a 0.02 millimeters off at the 12, when it exactly hit that minute. And so I was just, amateurs. I wanted that job. I was like, okay, I should work there. Although they have to do it in a reasonable amount of time. So yeah. Here's the thing. Yeah. Mine doesn't always hit the minute mark. It depends. I mean, sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. And I guess this isn't kind of like perfect. I mean, this one is like that. Yeah. It could be a dial error. Yeah. Do I have any future pieces? No, not really. No. I mean, I think it's impossible to be a collector and not have, pieces that you're sort of interested in. And I mean, you're always sort of, part of this hobby is like, you're continually mulling over the idea of a new watch. I mean, like today, I couldn't make that Yachtmaster video without thinking, Yachtmaster number 5. And the idea of number 5 is insanity to me, but the idea of number 4 was insanity to me a couple years ago. So in 3 years, when I haven't bought anything, number 5 might just make sense. But until then, yes, it will be. I will be looking at other things, and you're always kind of thinking about your next move. Austin, what do you think of the VC overseas? I don't know anything about Vacheron Constantin. I respect him, but yeah. Isham says, yeah, that was a dumb question. Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, there are no such thing as dumb questions. But Austin, have you seen the Explorer 1, which has Number 9 at 3 o'clock. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. But I, I, I wonder if people are gonna try and like fake that or something. I don't know. Hopefully not. Get in there and take it. I'd just be very, very careful. So if they start turning up, like, but yeah, I did see that and I thought that was absolutely awesome. I don't know why it was awesome, but would I pay extra for it? Not, I wouldn't. But if I was, John Mayer, I was this close to saying yes, but no. I'd probably say I'll give you a little bit extra for it, not much. If you try and rate me on it, I'm just going to go and buy, 1655 or 6542 GMT. I mean, yeah, yeah. No, my OCD. No, I mean, my OCD would be fine with that. I love the fact that like Rolex screwed up. It's like I love Rolex, but I just would love having the essence of their failure, and I would probably take it to ADs and like, what you guys did, you failures. No, you cannot service it. Hisham, take care, man. He says, it was great chatting with you. Thanks, Hisham. I really appreciate that. Take care. Have a good night. Do you still wear the Orient? No, I don't know. I don't wear the Orient at all. I probably should sell it, but yeah, I mean, I tell myself I would regret selling it because it was my first mechanical watch. But I don't know if I would. Here's when I would regret selling it. When I have like a grandchild that's like 10 years old and he's like, looks at my watch for the first time and he's like, hey, you got a watch? And I'm like, oh yeah, I got a watch. Come with me. I'm going to tell you a little life story. And that's when I would whip out the Orient and say, this is my first watch and I'm going to give you this to you. And so I can't sell it. That future possible experience is not worth the damn $100 I could get for it, I should say. Which other brands would you consider getting into? Nothing, no, none. Because nothing else makes me, as turned on as Rolex. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, Rolex is the only brand that makes me want to part with thousands of dollars. I get 3,000 USD in my hand. Do I want to get a man on the moon? No, I mean, I don't want to spend that money on a man on the moon. And if I had a man on the moon, would I wear the damn thing? Of course not. I'd much rather have something sort of Rolex related. I mean, it's hard enough being away from Rolex to wear this. At least this has some like Rolex DNA in it. But totally off the thing. Patek is probably the only brand that I could look at and say, yeah, not a Rolex, because it's like up here. So. Artemir's Piguet, I hate, and I hate him because of the service costs. Because I think that I hate him because that they're sort of like, yeah, we're real high end luxury. We're gonna screw you in the service costs because you can afford it. Can't you? And it's sort of, it's just too much. It's too much. Yeah. So no. So Snowflake Hunter, he says, Austin, did you see the Rolex mistake Air King? Yeah, we just talked about that. Would they be big money? Yeah, I mean, maybe. But really, I mean, yeah, what would you pay for that? I mean, if I was John Mayer and, what would I agree to that? Twice. I'd give him twice the price for it. Would I give him three times the price for it? No. I'd give him twice the price for that, just because it would be kind of cool to have. But it would always sort of I would want sort of like confirmation from Rolex that they did screw up, and then they never give it to you. So that's the thing. So yeah, it would bother me. Hey, Carlos Luxury, how's it going? How's it going, buddy? Yeah, I'm doing good. Good morning. What time is it there? I know my GMT. I don't know what time it is there. Yeah, I guess it's like in the afternoon in the States. Will you still add a Daytona to your collection? No, I don't. Daytona's, that's like a $20,000 watch. It's like, I used to be 5,000 was my max, and then that kind of gradually changed to like 10, and now 10 I think is my max. But who knows? Like, does it just keep going up? Does your limit keep going? I don't think it will for me. I don't know why, because yeah, I don't know. Just 20 is just insane. So I don't think so. Much better without Clyde. Yeah, I don't even know if Clyde's like around still, but yeah, Clyde's great, but it's kind of nice just doing it at my own pace, and I can look at the comments and whatnot. So yeah. Okay, so Chili Pepper says 10K to 15K is my limit. See, that's the thing. I mean, so like 5K was, and then obviously like mine kind of got to around 10, and so is the next step 15? Hopefully not. Hey, thanks, Carlos. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. So we've been talking for over 2 hours, and I'll probably wrap it up soon. I have one more, and then wrap it up, I think. Mahai says, Austin, would you wear the Rolex James Bond watch, the one without a movement, with a rotor inside? Seems soulless. I don't know what that is. Larry Simon says 10K is the new 5K. Yeah, that's what it seems like. And so, yeah, does this just happen? I mean, does it in like 20 years will I think like it's only 20? Hopefully not. That's this is a weird sort of echo chamber that we sort of talk to each other and a lot, and then the next thing you know, you start thinking, 10K for a watch is normal or like a good idea. I think perhaps you might need to like pull somebody from out of this circle in their zone and just say like, what do you think of this? And I think they'll probably say it's absolutely insane. Bounds of reason is probably what they would say. Okay, Arch Drake, he says, greetings from Singapore. Just started getting into watches this year. Got myself a Speedmaster. Thinking of either getting a Tudor Black Bay GMT or IWC Pilot Spitfire as my second one. IWC, I mean, that's just not a brand I would go for. I would go Black Bay GMT, but I don't know. I'm a Rolex person, so I would save up. It was going to be twice the price for a Rolex GMT, but that's what I would do. Any future pieces you fancy? No, John. I don't really think there is. I mean, it just came off from getting the GMT Master 2, and my God, I mean, like that. I told myself that would sort of take me out of it. That's everything. That's all I want, right? But just ask me next year. I'm sure more will come up. All right. 10K is not a good idea, but what choice do we have? Chili Pepper says, exactly. What choice do we have? I mean, we have to. If you want to steal sports Rolex, I mean, what are you going to do? But if they all went to 15, would you play, or would you? When do you tap out? I would say I would tap out. I definitely tap out because I'm pretty set with my pieces. But if I hadn't quite gotten there, would I tap out? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. Thoughts on Explorer mod to a GMT bezel? Sacrilege? Yeah, I think that's sacrilege. That's not cool. I wouldn't do that at all. All right, John McManus says SKX 007 or 009. I think 009 with the blue and the red. That's what I would go with. All right, Ferguson, which I saw Ferguson on a news network channel, which is kind of cool. I was like, Turd, what are you doing here? Turd was saying, Turd was strolling. He was trolling from single moms, is what he was doing. He was wishing Happy Mother's Day to single mothers and be like, hit me up. I'm kidding you not, Turd. How often do you change watches throughout the day? 0. I change like once every 2 weeks. What? Okay, so Mihai asks, he says, Austin, would you pay $50K for a Paul Newman Daytona that you can't sell? No, I wouldn't, because that's $50K. Okay, but if I had $50K to, no, yeah, no, I wouldn't. No, I'm not much into like the provenance type thing. No, yeah, I just get a regular Daytona. That'd be fine. Okay, so Mihai then asked, Austin, would you pay $30K for a Paul Newman Daytona that you're not allowed to sell for profit? No, I mean, what would I do with it? I mean, I would just have it, and I would say, like, I've got his watch. No, I don't think I would. 30K, no. We be streaming on a regular day every week or randomly? I don't know. I'm not sure. But I will say, when I announced it today, all of a sudden it felt like work. You know, I kind of like popping up and being like, "Hey, I'm here." But because I announced it, it was, you know, I went outside with my daughters and we took a little night walk, and I remember thinking like, oh, I've got something to do at 11:15, and so it's strange how. Not like this is work. I mean, it's pretty fun, but whenever you sort of put something on the calendar, then it brings an element of responsibility to it, because I didn't want to disappoint you guys. Okay, what drink is that? This is a Dutch Genever, basically like gin. It's like a weaker gin. What do you think about getting a Rolex 5508 for 30? Oh God. Well, here's the thing: a 5508. Now, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Okay, but it's a 4-digit, so I know it's vintage, and it's 36K, so it's vintage. Here's the deal. I mean, if you are loaded, that's when you would go down that road. But I mean, those are, you know, essentially ticking time bombs, and if you can't afford to just have it gone, you shouldn't do it. I mean, if you're looking at it like it is as an investment piece, or like to kind of hold your money in, like, you know, you're just a regular guy, terrible idea. That would be a terrible idea. If you're, I don't know why I talk about John Mayer. Okay, but if you're John Mayer, sure, why not? You know, it craps out. You're, you know, not that big of a deal. All right, but if you're a regular guy, terrible idea. Yeah, it's a good idea. I did announce. Yeah. Well, that's what I did, because I knew it would get more people coming. Oh, it's a sub. Yeah. Okay. All right. Do I watch Jen streams? It's kind of sometimes, like off and on. I mean, I'm breaking my rule. I mean, this is going on like, it's over 2 hours. Like, nobody's gonna watch this. This is a total, you know. But I'm having fun now. This is why I'm doing it. But if you're trying to get views and stuff, you know, get on and do your 15 minutes and then pause it and stuff. I mean, this is people don't want to watch videos that are like 2 hours long, and you know, so this is we are having a good time now, and but that's what it's all about. It's not it's a different sort of thing, getting views, and so, well, where did this come from? Why am I talking about this? Because I guess Jen, I've seen his stuff, and it's very long. Okay, it's very long, and so when I see things like Clive's you know, live shows, and Archie's live shows, and everybody's live shows, I'm just like, I can't do 2 hours. I can't do 1 hour, and nobody can do 2 hours of this. So, you know, I mean, this is the pot calling the kettle black, but yeah, it's just the way it goes. When is the collab with Clive stream? Next time, number 3 is going to be with Clive. Turd. Austin, do you think the market's do a correction shortly. I think so. The current growth is not sustainable. Are you talking about like Dow, or are you talking about watches, Larry? You're talking watches. Sorry. Okay. It's a good question. I don't know. I think the pre-ceramic, I think it is a bubble, I guess, because they're still making them. I'm not sure. Sort of the jury's out on that. But I think pre-ceramic, no. I think why would a 10K GMT go down? Why? Well, what would happen? I mean, let me just talk about Guido's argument. You know, Guido's argument is, all right, it's all things fall from grace. All things fall from grace. I mean, it's the worst argument ever. Okay, but what it is just saying like, well, it's got to happen eventually. No, it doesn't. It doesn't, and especially when Rolex controls the market. If Rolex was, straight up like business, like, I would say, yeah, Grid is probably right, but they're not. I mean, they control everything, and you think they're going to let loose of that control and screw themselves? Absolutely not. And the fact that they won't does good things and protects the pre-ceramic market. And as far as the pre-ceramics go, people are only getting more interested across the world in Rolex. China and these other countries that are sort of backorder countries that, as they become more affluent, are going to sort of discover Rolex. I mean, Rolex is it is penetrated not just the culture of the West, but every culture, and where Kazakhstan. I mean, if there ever is a luxury market for watches in Kazakhstan, Rolex will increase there, and all of a sudden you'll have Rolex buyers in Kazakhstan, and they're going to want pre-ceramic subs and pre-ceramic GMTs, and they ain't make them anymore. So what's going to happen to the prices? They're going to go up. So what do you think of that? I mean, am I right in saying that? I think that's a no-brainer, to be honest. Okay, what does give me pause is 20 grand for a $10,000 GMT ceramic Pepsi. Okay, that seems insanity to me. Archie said that the Yakuza keep their money in vintage Daytonas. I'm curious if that's true. It's a great question. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I ever meet any Yakuza, I will, I will say that I went to a sports club, and there was a guy that went there, and he had a complete back tattoo. Like, it was a Yakuza tattoo. And he had a gold Daytona, and he didn't just have a gold Daytona. He had amazing watches, and but the gold Daytona was one that, like, it was a white dialed gold Daytona, and that's sort of like, you just see that and you're like, that's off the chart money, man. I mean, I wish I had talked to him, but I didn't. But that's that's not something that honestly, it's funny. You probably actually could, if you went out drinking with him. I'm sure that you could broach that subject with him. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have any connections right now. But I don't go out anymore, so that's why. But So Paul says all those who bought on credit and really can't afford it offload if economy turns south. And it is a run on economic downturn, then all gray market can't offload, prices fall as demand goes off. Well, anybody buying a ceramic GMT on credit, they're insane. I mean, anybody buying a 20,000 GMT Pepsi ceramic, you're buying it because you want the latest thing. That's it. You're not buying it for you're buying it because you're loaded and you just want the newest watch. You're not buying it because you're going to make any money off of it. In fact, you're going to probably lose money, but you don't care. You know why? Because you've got that awesome F-off piece. Larry says, I think the men examples are safe money, but the highly polished, beaten up GMTs will drop heavily. Well, yeah, I mean, the mint examples are always going to be better, but they're all going to go up. Hey, Pete James, thank you, man, appreciate it. He says, love your channel. Thank you, Pete. I really appreciate that, Pete James. Austin, what happened to your beautiful beautiful watch? My Stour watch. Do you still have it? Yeah, I do. It's been sitting, I kid you not, it's been sitting next to the sink. For you guys want to see it? Here, give me 5 seconds. All right. All right, guys. Stour watch. I mean, it's healthy. That's a healthy sound. I didn't abuse this watch. Okay, I just somebody gave me advice and they say your dad gave you this watch, so don't kill it. Just like be nice to it. In 30 years, it'll mean something to you. I disagree with that, but still, I didn't abuse it. It just died. The rotor came off here. Let's see. Let me sort of just. It's been next to the sink for a while. I don't know why, but so the rotor is off, and then do you see how one hand is just it's like that's the second hand, and it's just kind of, I mean, it didn't break in like one place. It broke in like several places. It's yeah, we're probably the worst watch in the world. Okay. All right. That's what happened to my Stour watch. Punctured Lung says, I'm late. Did I miss much? You didn't miss anything really. Worse than Squale? Yeah. This is worse than Squale. Okay. It's funny because it is all relative. And if somebody said, I'm thinking of getting this for $200 or like a $900 Squale, I would say, well, if you get this, it's gone. Like your money's gone. You've just pissed it away, and you're not gonna have a watch. At least with a $900 Squale, there's a chance you could keep it going, right? If you just watch it, if you find the watchmaker to kind of keep it going, I think you'll be much better. No, this is not a real watch. This is not this is a toy. This is the scam. This is just a total scam. I mean, everything from the box to, this is a sin of. I mean, I can't tell you how much I hate this watch. Okay, so anyway, does the device still work? Man, no, I killed the device. I killed it. I like regulate it in the bad way, and and yeah. You missed 2 hours of drinking with Austin. Yeah, pretty much. Better than a Vostok? No, Vostoks are great. Vostoks are really good. Vostoks are awesome. Grand Seiko, Austin, your thoughts? Yeah, awesome watches. But don't have the sort of that luxury punch, and apparently, if it's like a 70s Grand Seiko, they've already stopped servicing them. Somebody put a comment in one of my videos, and he was like, I want Rolex because 70s GSs they won't service it. So that to me is becoming a real issue, and that's why this is one thing I talked about earlier in this live show, is why I respect Patek Philippe, because they will never pull the rug out from under you, and that's becoming more and more important to me. I don't know why, because I think that's it's the worst thing that they can do to you. Jesus, I mean, they sell you, these companies, they sell you a watch, and then what? Like 50 years down the road, they're like, we won't service for you anymore. I mean, where where's the loyalty there? That's like the minimum thing they should do. And if anything drives me away from Rolex, it'll be that. It'll be them, saying that they can't service a watch. I tell you one thing. If I ever go into, and this will be decades probably, but if I ever go in and I have my GMT service and they say, guys, I don't think this will ever happen. But if they say like, we can't do that, I'm out. I'm out. The second they tell me that they can't service the watches that I have put my money in, that's the moment that I sell everything and I buy Patek, one Patek. That's it. I become Archie luxury, right? Hopefully without a dented one. No, that's fine. That's fine. So anyway, Pepsi GMT or Coke GMT, personal favorite. Is I can't choose. I don't know. I would say probably Pepsi because it's so iconic. Yeah, I gotta say Pepsi. I don't know. I vacillate on that, but Pepsi's a little bit more. It's a little bit more eye catching, and I tend to sort of like more subdued pieces. So, I think I made a video saying it was the all black. It's a tough one. Watch Finder just uploaded a new video. Well, what the hell are you doing here? Picking from only Rolex, what would your perfect 3-watch collection be? Okay, Sub, GMT, and Explorer 2. Pretty much what I had. What do you think, guys? Should I end this? I don't know. It's 2 hours. I mean, it's like 2 hours. I'm not sure. I don't want to end, but I mean, it's like, is this like a party? Am I overstaying my welcome? I don't know. I don't know the rules of this thing. I mean, are you guys like, fuck, man? We want to do other things. I don't know. You are the party. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll do it. Okay. Right on. All right. Well, look, I mean, hey, anybody can leave whenever you're ready. You don't have to, I don't think you'll miss anything, right? Cool your jets. I've just opened a beer. Can't have you drink alone, my friend. In Holland, they do what's called a headbutt, where you drink one of these with a beer, and that sounds like a great idea. In fact, let me just grab a little bit more green tea. All right, so I'll be 10 seconds. All right. So what kind of beer is that, by the way, that you just opened? Punctured lung. Cheers, punctured lung. What kind of beer is that, by the way? I'm curious. Christopher says, "Wait, we are waiting for those Japanese red light district stories." No comment. Yeah, that would be. Yeah. Yeah. Malbec. Okay. Going through a bottle of Malbec Paula's. All right. I don't know what Malbec is, but sounds fancy. So my alcohol education is not really not what it is, or what it should be, I should say. Christopher Peterson says Argentina. Okay, red wine. All right. Yeah. So, okay, we're all, hey, isn't it like daytime where you guys are? Yeah. Okay. Wine. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. I'm a little Argentina. Okay. You guys are all answering each other. Sorry. Yeah. It's 7 p.m. in Romania. Mihai says, Romania. Yeah. I knew a guy in Fukuoka named Philip, and he's from Romania, and he has a bar there in sort of the kind of like the, I don't want to say like the red light district is next to the red light district. It's more like the drinking district. It's called Nakasu, and yeah, he's interesting. He used to be a stripper, and then he came over here and he was like, I don't know what he's doing, but then he opened his own bar. Filippo bar, Filippo, if you ever go to Fukuoka, Filippo is the place. And like, so hostesses usually go there after they have their shifts and stuff. Okay, Pete James is on the coffee. That's probably a good idea. 12:30 p.m. here in New York City. I'm just having my lunch. Well, do it the Czech way. Have a couple beers with it. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't get fired. I don't want Blue Shirt Buddha to jeopardize his job. Do Japanese people in Japan actually wear Seiko and Grand Seiko, or do they prefer other brands? Yeah, I mean, you see Grand Seiko here a lot. Yeah, they probably prefer other brands. Breitling is really popular here, and they love their brands here, and so yeah, sometimes yeah, you see everything, but I think Rolex is really what everybody wants. I think that's sort of the pinnacle, and because it's just, if you're a society that really respects sort of the brand name, you can't go much better than Rolex. Okay, but I guess Omega is more popular among young people, I think, because I guess the Rolexes sort of have the air of maybe their fathers and what their fathers aspired to. But obviously there are people that know sort of about the contemporary sort of subs and stuff, and they're like me. They love Rolexes. So and I get the gist that sort of Seiko is sort of like, if you kind of want to, you're kind of like, you love your country, but you still want that awesome sort of slightly f-off watch. Yeah, so Rolex is sort of what you go for when here in Japan. I think when you really want that the best of the sort of brand watch. I mean, Rolexes are huge here. They're huge. They're very well respected. Okay, so Mihai says, in Romania, 95% of the people are wearing Garmin or Apple Watch or G-Shock. They are considered expensive here. Such a sad thing. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's all relative. I mean, man, we're like in a totally different bubble. We are, because, sometimes I think about, the watch advice we give and that we take, and I think about, some guy in India, where I went, several years ago, probably a decade ago, and it was a very poor and indigent country, and would I advise like a young Indian man who has hardly any money to get anything automatic? I wouldn't. I would say go Casio, $10 Casio. Device, hell no. Orient, hell no. Why are you going to do that? Why are you going to do that to yourself? And yeah, it is a weird sort of place where we are. I mean, it's not real. It's not real logical, and it's not the real world. Okay, this is craziness. I mean, we're talking, spending thousands of dollars on a watch. This is not normal, and we're like in this echo chamber, and it's probably very unhealthy, and probably it's very weird, and um, we are all complicit in enabling one another, I think, probably, and I love it, but I think it's a weird place. Do millennials wear watches? It's a great question. I don't know. Oh man, what a great question. Have you ever run into any AV actresses over there? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. There was I went to a sports club, and there was a girl, and yeah, and I talked to her a few times, and she was and I didn't know, but I remember I had like some like business related party, and I went to the video store, and then I went in. I was just like killing time, right? And I went into the adult section, and I saw a poster of her, and her name was Anna Sakura. Okay, and I've met her, but like I just I talked to her and sort of chatted her up at the sports club. So yeah, it was an amazing experience. Because it's like you think that maybe that you have, but you don't know because they wear makeup. But the second I saw this picture, I was like, it's her. So yeah. ABMO Rose. What a question. What a question. Oh, wow. Marika Hase? Oh, that's terrible. Poor thing. Oh, wow. Yeah. That sucks. Huh. She's, yeah, she makes movies abroad. I don't think she's not here anymore. But, yeah. Took a turn, didn't we? PS4, I don't. Do I have PS4? I don't. I don't. Adam says, have there been any watches you have seen online and liked, only to be disappointed with seeing them in the flesh or in the metal? Yes. Yes. There's okay, I don't know what it is, but it's like a Patek pilot's watch, and it's got a button where you press it, and like the hour hands separate, right? And it was beautiful, but I saw it. It was like this big, massive, ugly thing. It was terrible. It was like, I mean, this is like a tens of thousands of dollars, and it was like, it was so hideous that I thought, oh man, I wouldn't pay $3,000 for that. I mean, it was one of those watches where if they pull me aside and they say, we will sell you this, we will sell you this for 5,000 USD. But here's the deal: you can't ever sell it again. You just have to wear it for the rest of your life. And say, I can't get out of it ever. I just have to wear it. I don't want to wear it. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, that was pretty ugly. I don't know what it was called. So, and I think in the last video that I went to, Nakano, I think there's some footage. I think I took it around the same time as I took the Buzz Aldrin thing. Need to get you in the same state as you were at the Dutch Gen House, guys. You didn't even see the rest of that day. I edited it. You know what I did after that? I went through the streets drunk as a skunk, doing wristwatch checks, going, and I was drunk. I was like, "Hey, can I see your watch?" And it was just so awkward and weird. And people would hear me ask to see their watch, and they ran away. I think they thought I was like casing them. I had to, I edited that. You guys have never seen that. Is there a legit way to get a replacement Rolex warranty card to complete a full set? The only way I can think to, Clemens, is to just get it serviced, and then you have your service card, and that's not quite as good, but good enough for me. I don't know. I mean, it's all right. So please take us watch shopping again. I love those. Yeah, I do too. We will, BB. I'll definitely take you again. Noobs for Life says, I'm a new sub. And Christopher says, heh, Amsterdam, dear Amsterdam. Yeah, Amsterdam's a pretty freaking fun place, that's for sure. I do remember that. I you will never see this footage. It's so embarrassing. It's just like, you know, it's mortifyingly embarrassing. But I was right outside this pub, and everybody's sort of, all these British people are kind of dribbling out, and I have my camera and I have my watch, and this guy comes out, and I say something like, hey, do you have a watch? I have a watch. I have a nice watch. I like watches. Can I see your watch? And the guy sort of says, what kind of watch do you have? And he looks at my Rolex Explorer 2. And then, you know, he kind of leads me on for a good, 30 seconds. And then finally he kind of laughs, and he takes out a big fat Invicta, and all the people around kind of laugh about it. And, I took some, I kind of like feigned that his Invicta was like, oh yeah, Invicta. I started taking some video of it, and then I kind of made my exit. But yeah, the worst part was asking people, and they were just like, one guy was like, he was with his girlfriend. I was like, hey, can I see your watch? And he was like, he looks down and he goes, you have a watch. And he escapes with his girlfriend. It was just so embarrassing. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I should. Now that I've kind of sort of told you guys about it, maybe I will upload that. All right. So did your wife have to go because you were drunk and that you bought the tutors? Well, that's an interesting, I ought to talk about that another time, but like, yeah. I'll just put it this way. All right, let's just say that there is an advantage to buying two of the same watch. All right, and that goes for the Tudor and the GMT Master 2, if you know what I'm talking about. All right, there we go. The Amsterdam trip video were epic. They got me started drinking gin. Awesome. Yeah. Hey, BB. I mean, gin is gin, but this is really different stuff. But I think if you want, I think Bombay Sapphire is closer because it's got the sort of botanicals in it. But this is it's got such flavor to it, and it's different. I remember I just had some bad gin the other day, and I kind of thought, all right, well, I'll have a shot of just gin, and it'll kind of have that nice taste. It was like turpentine. It was completely different. It's 35% alcohol, and I think the 40% is like 40%, and I think the 35 is like 35, and I think the other 5% is like all flavor. So yeah. Is your wife getting into watches as a result of your interest? Hell no interest. She has an Omega watch. Never wears it. I've only seen her wear it one time, and it was when we went to the States and she didn't have access to her cell phone, and she was wearing her Omega Constellation. It was like the happiest day of my life. I looked down at my wife, and she had like a mechanical watch on. It was like, never been more in love in my life. and then she came back and she like took it off, and that's that. Yeah. Okay, Noobs for Life says, what is your show fast? What are you talking about, man? If you like gin, try, I don't like gin. Yeah, it's fine. I'm good. I know what I like, and I'm not looking to go down any rabbit holes. A little bit of old gin is fine. Austin, thanks for sharing your thoughts on watches in your AV run. Cheers. Hey, man, look that girl up. Did you find her? Can you imitate Japanese people pronouncing Rolex? I'm not going to do it. Kind of rude. I don't want to do that. Austin, have you tried the ban button yet for annoying? Nobody's been mean to me. So now I haven't tried the ban button at all. Yes, Nigel, Bowls is very, very smooth. Absolutely. I love it. Noobs, what is your show? What are you talking about, man? It's Watch Symposium. If you could only blow one one enthusiast on YouTube, who would it be, Austin? If I could only, if you got to phrase that, if I could only, you got to say if you had to, you got to rephrase that. That's a hard question. I'm not going to go there. I got an answer. I got an answer. No, people will never let me hear the end of it if I said the answer. Austin, is the Casio F94 better than the F91? Is the F91 not more iconic? Yeah, I think the F91 is more iconic. I think the F94 is cool because it's different. It's like, it's got those, those yellow accents, and it's got that circular thing going on. They're $10. Get both. I am new. I don't at gunpoint. No, I can't. Look, I can't go there. No, I don't want. I mean, at gunpoint. Yeah, we can't go there. We can't, because the second ID, you know what? You get a mental image in your head, and that'll never go away. and then 2 years from now, I'm talking. I'm hitting them squally, and you're like, damn, man, I just can't get that thing out of. So there's some things that should never ever be, talked about and discussed. And you can only save one watch. Which one? The first Pepsi GMT. Do I get the bops and papers with it? Hopefully. That's what I would save. No. Oh, God, guys, please. The mental image doesn't have horns. Like, I like Archie, but he's no. All right. No, this is going pear-shaped, as Archie would say. You guys are going, what about this? What about that? We're going to narrow it down. No, look, I don't roll that way. All right. Just, I don't, no, hate to anybody that does, but I no interest in it, really. So, let's just leave it there. Okay. What was your first grow watch you obtained? All of them. The Sub was my grow when I got it, but not the Explorer 2. The Explorer 2 was so close to Grail that it's almost a Grail, but it wasn't. It was sort of a band-aid to the Grail, which was the GMT Master 2. So the GMT Master 2 is probably my Grail of bells, I think, and that's why I love it. Part of it is because when I was a wee lad, I saw that's the watch that I saw, and that you probably have seen some of my real old videos when I had the mullet and the mustache and stuff, and I'm talking about how I sort of was indoctrinated, and then I was in essence, I was at a jewelry store, and I was presented with I was in front of the case looking at these Rolex watches, and I was told some tall tales about the accuracy of these watches, but it got into my head that these are like amazing watches, and one of them certainly was a GMT. I remember the black. I remember it was a Pepsi. I remember the red and the blue, and yeah. So, but it was weird because when I got the Sub, the Sub was my Grail, but it was only after I got the Sub that I realized the GMT was almost like that memory was dampened. And it's like I just wanted the no date Sub, and I think that might have been a period where Archie was like really just, I think he had just gotten rid of like a no date Sub, and so and I got the no date Sub, and after I had the no date Sub, it was like that's sort of when that memory was sort of reignited, and I was like, oh, the GMT. So if that memory had been reignited before I got the Sub, I might have gone straight to the GMT, but I probably wouldn't have, and I'll tell you why, because that was a period where they were going up, and I was a new watch guy, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna get a used sub. How much gonna be? $1,000, right? Laugh along with me. And then I thought it was, and then I found it was like $4,000, and I just still wanted it, and I did it. And by that point, I think the GMT was probably 6 or 7, and that was just too crazy money for me at the time. It was just, it's funny because now it's like 4,000, 6,000, like that's who cares, right? That's like nothing money, right? No, it's not nothing money, but it's all relative. I mean, it's just sort of, when you're talking that GMT, it's not that much more, right? And especially considering GMT prices now. But at the time, I mean, coming off the realization that you can't get a sub for $1,000, 4,000 was just like my absolute limit, right? And so it's just as well, because I never would have gone for the GMT. That probably is my grail of grails. Yes, my grail of grails. I use the Explorer 2 as a beater. Yeah, I do. But that's why I got the second GMT Master 2. That's now my GMT beater. By the way, that is also unpolished. I am awesome at buying GMT Master 2s. The first one was unpolished. This one's unpolished. The first one has box and papers. This one has box only. But I asked when I had it, when I gave the Rolex, they assessed it and they gave me the estimate for the service. And I said, by the way, has this been polished? And he disappeared in the background, and he came back and he said, it doesn't appear so, which is weird because the bezel insert was all scratched up, but the case is pretty minty. So I don't know, maybe somebody took a Cape Cod cloth to do it. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway. Outside of Rolex, Breitling is my number 2. Yours, Austin? A Patek. Yeah, by far. Patek's probably, Patek is for me, Patek is probably above Rolex for me, but it's just so special that I'm kind of like, oh, Patek, no, I don't. Do I want one? In a way, I don't even want one, because it's just like too much money on my wrist. I don't even want it, to be honest. I've come to grips with $5,000 to $10,000 watch on my wrist. Can I come to grips with a $20,000 watch? I can't. Not quite yet. And I will in the future, perhaps. But so Patek is probably my favorite. I'm sort of changing, by the way. Very, very. If you've watched this whole thing, you know that this stems from the fact that Patek just stands behind their watches. 2 hours and 30 minutes, man. This is insane. I'm having a great time though. So hopefully you guys are too. Just leave whenever you want to. I don't want anybody to I feel like this is a party, and I'm just like, people are like, yeah, gonna end this bar. But no, I'm having a great time. I just don't want to overstay my welcome. So, does your wife know the total value of your watches? No, she doesn't. You know why, Paul? Because I've told her, I've said, okay, well, I got this GMT Master 2 for 7, and now they're 10. And she goes, well, you should sell it. I said, no. That's what you don't do. You hold on to it. I think maybe she's taken a page out of Guido Pelagos's book. She, I think, thinks that you sell. No, you see the price rise, and then you hold on to it for more, and you hopefully are experiencing a trend. No, so yeah, because I basically was sort of assessing the value of my watches and what I could get for them, and it was sort of like I kind of presented this sort of factual, sort of verbal oral chart, and say like, so as you can see, like, these are going up, and this is kind of good investment. I probably sounded a lot like Adrian when he talks to his wife, and it was just like, well, if you don't sell them, it doesn't mean anything. And I was like, okay, I can't talk to you anymore. I'm done. All right, go away. So I think in a way, when it comes to watches, if you're talking any other brand but besides Patek and Rolex, I think you need to include perhaps your wife in the purchase, because those are not realistic money-making ventures. Okay, but I think Rolex and I think Patek, perhaps, let's just keep it Rolex. I don't want to overextend my knowledge, but I think Rolex is, there are some investment opportunities there, and in that sense, I think there might be reasons why you might want to make some decisions sans your wife. I don't think she's going to be able to sort of see things the way that they may actually be, right? If my wife had an equal say in my purchases, I wouldn't be doing as well as I am doing now, as far as the value goes of my pieces. So as far as I'm concerned, I am the one who does and should call the shots there. Clemens says, you pretty much made me pull the trigger on the Rolex Explorer 2 16570, my favorite watch in my collection. Thanks. My pleasure. It is a freaking fantastic watch. I love that watch too. Absolutely. I think it is a fantastic watch. What's your approach to the security insuring of your collection? Safe deposit boxes, safes. Do you insure the watches? Does living in Japan relatively safer affect your approach? Yeah. All right. So I don't. I do use a safe deposit box, but Japan's such a freaking awesome country because it's so safe, and you don't have to worry about home invasions and all these weird things. And honestly, I mean, if I were in the States, I don't know that I'd be making videos, to be honest. I don't think I would. And the same thing goes for Britain as well. I mean, the thing is, if you do commit a crime here in Japan, you will be caught. I mean, it's just sort of, there are cameras everywhere. There are cameras in the street. And even if there are no cameras around, there are cameras in shops that are kind of going through windows that you don't even see. Nobody gets away with anything here, okay? Nobody gets away with anything here. And so it's sort of a really nice environment to have a sort of a collection. That said, yeah, I do use a safe deposit box, which is convenient for a hoarder. I love doing that. I mean, I get pleasure from my GMT Master 2 knowing that it's sitting there and that I own it, and that it's, I mean, I'm the same as Archie in that sense, in the sense that just, you guys perhaps may think that I don't enjoy that watch and that I don't get it. I get pleasure every day from it. It just knowing it's there just gives me a buzz. It's weird. And I don't get any buzz from wearing it. It stresses me out. I freaking hate wearing that watch. And that's why I got the GMT Master 2, the other one, right? So I could wear a GMT Master 2 without having a bad time. I mean, it's kind of funny when you love your watch so much that you hate wearing it. I love it too much because I hate wearing it. But that was the reality of it. And so, yeah. Anyway, but it is safe, very safe. And I don't keep my watches in the same place as well. I've got little, I've got little nooks and crannies and stuff and whatnot. Would you move to the land of watches? I don't know. What would I get from doing that? No. I love Japan. Greetings from the Netherlands. Hey, Duplantius. I'm going to have to drink one of these for you. I'm dedicating this one to Duplantius 1 because I need an excuse. Aunt G, hey Austin, how do you rotate the wear of your watches? Do you wear one more than the others? Some on special occasions? No, I don't do special occasions, and I don't say like, oh, Well, I mean, it depends. If I'm traveling, yeah, I mean, I'm going to definitely get a GMT watch, right? But no, I'm no, no, and that's why I like the GMT so much, because when I have this watch or the sub, I don't get anything extra. I mean, am I pushing the limits of the water resistance? No, I'm not at all. But when I have the GMT, I get all of the functions of that bezel, right? I mean, you can use it in exactly the same way, but I have that fourth hand. And so that's why GMTs appeal to me much more. But I just wear my watches for, like, a couple of weeks at a time, and I like to wear my watches until, like, I'm good and satiated with it, you know. Um, I I I sort of, I mean, I guess I could, when I was single, I could probably, draw a parallel between, women and watches, in the sense that I wasn't a guy that would go out and just get a girl for a night, right? That would never really appeal to me that much, right? I was always like, I want, like, weeks, you know. I want to experience everything, and you know, and I feel the same way with the watch. I think, you have a box of watches. You do the Hydraulic one day, and you do the Daytona the next day, and you do this, that, and then it's all of a sudden it's like, well, what did you get? And you're like, I don't know. I mean, what day was that? I don't know what that was, and who was that? I don't know who that was, and you know, it's like, when you wear it for a long time, you really remember it. And there are times in your life, like, for example, there's video of this, when I went to a beach in Fukuoka, and I swam out, and I was, like, jumping off the rock, and I had my Vostok on, and I remember having the Vostok on. I remember everything about it, because I had that watch on for, it was a part of that entire week, and if you're doing everything, different watch every day. I mean, my God, I can't think of anything worse than having, three watch changes in a day. There's a Zen saying, and it goes, the man that eats and reads does neither. And what that means is you can eat and put your full concentration in it, or you can read and put your full concentration in it. But when you half-ass it both ways, you really do neither. And I feel the same way goes with the watches. I think, three watch changes a day, you're not doing any of them. You're not doing any of them. You're not appreciating any of them. And people would buck that and disagree with me there, but go in there and experience that watch, and wrap yourself around it, and have it wrap your. I mean, I sleep with this watch. I know this watch intimately, and like, the first week, it's like I'm just getting used to it, and the second week, it's like becoming kind of part of me. And I mean, it's we're just getting started, right? So slow changes. That's what I say. Paul says, your best man at a wedding, which watch do you wear? Well, that's a good question. If you like the guy, something like a three-hander, if you have an Explorer 2, perpetual. But if you don't, and you want an alpha male, you got to do the gold Daytona, any gold piece. You just go out and buy a gold Invicta, strap that thing on. No, I guess, I don't know. That's probably what I would say. Punctured Lung says, I do 3 watch changes in the morning. Yeah, man, I don't know. I feel sorry for you. I slow down, enjoy life, smell the roses, man. Smell each one of those roses. for a couple of days at a time. If you can't, then that's something you got to work on. I mean, slow down. Month at a time. That's a great, yeah. Hey, Aunt G, I've thought about doing that. I thought about, going minimum a month. That's 12 a year. And I tell you what, you don't mess around with Vostok's when you do 12 watches a month. Or sorry, 12 watches a year. No, you choose wisely. That Vostok over there on the table that I haven't even resized yet. Nah, I wouldn't even mess with that. Nigel is saying, loving the show, Austin. Better and broader content than most. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Nigel. Snowflake Hunter says, if the groom was nervous and you were the best man, would you give him a handshake with your watch hand, Austin? No. I would give him some of this. I'd give him a pat on the back, Snowflake Hunter, and tell him to man up. I don't think a hand jigger is going to help him out one damn bit. In fact, it's going to ruin the day, ruin my day, ruin everything. Oh, Jesus. All right. What do you think happened to Matt Stevens' horological libido? I love this. All right. I should pause this. I'm not gonna pause it, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a little timestamp, toggle timestamp. I think this is what I can do, so I can start it, because so I can like clip this off and yeah, okay. Matt Stevens. Matt Stevens is funny. All right, what he does is he goes, I'm out of watches. I'm not interested anymore because Rolex is mean, and they're like not treating us right. Well, what is it? I mean, are you out of Rolex? Are you out of watches because you're uninterested, or are you pissed off because you're not being treated the way you want to be treated? Okay, there are two different things going on. He's conflating them. Yeah, Matt's angry with Rolex. Okay, he's angry at the situation. He's angry at the state of affairs, and he's desperately trying to believe and convince himself that he's off watches and uninterested in watches, and he has no watch libido. BS. You know why? Because he watches all the watch channels still. All right, he still watches them. Right, and an argument could be made that it's because his friends are here, and that because there's a relationship there, and there's that. But look, attraction is not a choice. I've made a video about this. Attraction is not a choice, and you can say, people say, Clive was saying, well, I would want my watch to be put right between the exit and Rolex, so people had to walk by it, and no. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. You know why? Because attraction is not a choice. You're attracted to Rolex, and that's the way it is. And you can try and talk yourself into saying, and you see people on the forum saying this all the time, I'm going to go to Omega. No, you're not. You know what? You're not. You know what? And the second that Rolex puts something in front of you, all those convictions go out the window. You'd buy it in a second. And that's what Matt is doing. He's trying to convince himself that he's out of the game because honestly, because he loves the Batman, and the Batman, he'll never get one, and I wouldn't be able to get one either. If I love the Batman, I would be bitter and angry too, and I'd be really angry. I would, because there ain't no way I'd pay $17,000 for one, and there ain't no better way. There's no way he's wants to or is going to either. And so the best thing that I think he can do is sort of convince himself that not interested. It's not true. He loves the Batman. He'll always love the Batman. And that's tough. It's tough to not be able to get what you want. I'm really lucky in that sense, in the sense that I like the pre-ceramics more, and it's just sort of a stroke of luck. If I had been bitten by the ceramic bug, I'd be screwed. I'd be screwed. I'd be a bitter shell of a man right now, probably. What would I be doing? I don't know. I'm thankful that I don't like those. But and he's probably a little upset that he dragged his feet, and he probably could have gotten on the boat, around the time that Mark Goldberg did, but he didn't. And he's angry about that, and I would be too. I'm not saying I would feel any different than he does. I'm just saying that. Yeah. Anyway, what do you guys say? Did I misrepresent him? I don't want to be rude to Matt. I mean, but he wants a GMT Batman, and I ain't changing. I mean, you mark my words, he would jump on one for 10 grand if he could find it. And Matt could have bought Don's BBB. Could have. That's the operative word there. Could have. That makes it all the more, because he could have, and he should have, but he didn't. Look, I've never missed any opportunities. I'm really lucky in that sense. But if you do, it can be a pretty embittering thing, and that's another reason why I think he's sort of rejecting the whole watch thing, because my guess is I think that was it. Who wound up with that BBB? Was it Clive? Because if it was Clive, then Don totally would have sold it to Matt first, because he likes Matt a lot, and he probably would have gotten Matt a really good deal. Oh, and that's got to burn, because that was, yeah. I mean, do you guys remember? AC3 came out with a video not long ago, and the guy was like, "Hey, have I missed the boat on the black?" And Archie was basically, and it was a freaking awesome video, because I wouldn't have ever thought to like rake this guy over the rails or the coals, but Archie did, and he was like, "You missed the boat. You missed the boat. You foot dragging wuss." Well, I mean, that's Matt. I mean, I mean, I'm not even Matt, and I'm pissed off for Matt that he didn't get it, but he didn't want that. Why? He wanted the Batman, and that's probably what. But it doesn't matter, because if he could go back in time, what he'd do, right? And that sucks. So, does Clive still have it? Does Clive still have that? I'm waiting for an answer. Clive doesn't have the Batman. Yeah, I know. No, it's sold. Did he sell it after the price rise? Matt, you and Guido and Simon should do a live stream. Yeah, why not? 4 people is too many, but anyway. Yeah, this is live. Machine, this is live. He's like, oh my God, he speaks to me through the computer. Clive had Don's B. He sold it. Yeah. Did Clive sell it for like a huge profit or something? Huh. He flipped it. Jack Daniels Symposium, sort of. Jack is, I don't know how to say Jack in Dutch, but something like that. What do you think about the Jubilee bracelet being the only option for the GMT? Yeah, less options suck. I mean, think about this. I can get the Jubilee on the pre-ceramic or the oyster and get every bezel color. That's amazing. Now, my question, and I'm not going to ask this question until I get all of the bezel colors, is, hey, if I had a GMT Pepsi ceramic, I mean, could I get the BLNR insert? My guesses are going to say freak no, right? But I want to see what they say. But that's kind of funny because I don't know. I one of the reasons that I want to get these inserts ASAP is because I don't think this is going to last. I mean, I feel like sort of the kid in the candy store that's got like the run of the place, and like the owner is just sort of like, and they don't have. I mean, like I gotta. That's why I'm gonna get it 1 week later. I'm gonna get the other one. 1 week later, I'm gonna get the other one because why are they letting me do this? Other countries won't. My guess is that Japan is such an honest country. That's why. In another more indigent country, that would become somebody's full-time job. Oh, I lost my insert today again. Yeah, $100. There you go. Yeah. Oh, happened again. Will Japan become that? Well, I don't know. But people, even making that video sort of kind of scared me because people are like, oh shit, I'm coming to Japan. And yeah, I should get the bezels. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm so scared of not being able to get them that when I get the GMT back, I'm thinking of, no, I'm not going to do it because it's too weird. But I'm thinking of being like, okay, all right, thanks. Going out to a park for like 10 minutes, coming back and being like, okay, can I have another one? All right. Here's, $150. All right, cool. All right, come back. All right. Hey, I'm back again. I need the other color now. I don't want to do that because I feel like that's kind of weird. But I don't know why, but I think I'm scared that they're gonna like pull the rug out from under me before I get those other colors. I don't know why. Who knows? Not Jack Daniel's Symposium, but Genevieve Symposium. Yeah, pretty much. Have you been to Akihabara? Yeah, I've been to Akihabara. Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to wrap it up because my wife needs. Well, I'll tell you what. Nudicol. Hold on a minute. Let me. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. You guys want? I'm gonna continue this. Okay. Oh. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna stop it for like 5 minutes. Okay, and then I'm going to start another one. All right, and if you guys and the second one won't be as long, but get your questions ready, and then we'll do like maybe just like 20 minutes, just banging out the last little bit of this. Okay, so I think my wife wants to go to the bathroom or something, and like I want to go to the bathroom as well. So, so I'll be back in like a couple minutes. Okay, all right. So watch the videos I uploaded today. All right, take care. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.